Now on Talking Solutions, we're welcoming in the Nevada Donor Network, friends of ours for a long time. Alma Rodriguez joins us. You were here last year.
Yes, I was. Thank you for having us back.
Right now, it is National Minority Donor Awareness Week. It's a priority for Nevada Donor Network all year long. Just we're shining a light on it this week.
Yes, this is a national initiative, but minority donors are needed all year round.
We're also going to be talking with Roberta Garcia. She's got more of an inside story about donation with Nevada Donor Network. Alma, talking about National Minority Donor Awareness Week, there are some reasons why this is so important. Right now, we've got more than 500 people waiting for a donor.
Yes, this is one of the reasons why minority donation is important to consider, because right now, like you said, we have more than 500 patients waiting on the Nevada list, and 58% of those patients are from a minority ethnic background.
Hispanic is first, followed by African American, Asian. You have donors and recipients of all races. I'm sure that you see no color, and I feel the same way. But the best chance for a match is within your same race.
Yes, you've touched a good point. Transplantation and donation have no barriers, therefore color is not even an actual consideration, but the ethnic background is. Because within the same ethnic background, we carry some similar genital markers that will make that donor recipient a compatible match.
We want the best match to work well for the person who receives it in order for them to maximize their life.
Most definitely.
One of the things that happens during this Donor Awareness Week is there's a lot of outreach into the churches. That's a great place to talk to people. You're already in a situation where you're talking about love and caring for your neighbor. And hey, as long as we're on the subject, let's make sure people are signed up for organ donation, because it's not automatic, right?
No, it's not automatic. We do need all the residents from Nevada to register and authorize that first person consent. And it really saves the time for us to have to approach the family. We do approach the family in a different manner when we do have a registered donor versus when we don't have a registered donor.
And time is very short when it comes to the donated organ.
The time is very limited when it comes to the recovery, as well as for that patient on the other side who's waiting for that life-saving gift.
Last year, we had Cliff in, who was a recipient of a donated heart. This year, for our visit, we're welcoming Roberta Garcia. You're the mother of an organ donor.
Donor hero. Roland gave his bones, his cornea, and tissue.
That's a good point that you bring up. One donor has a lot of different things that they can offer.
Yes. Many parts are contributed and saved to help give that gift.
And Roberta, the person that we're talking about in the way of the donor, actually was your son, is that right?
Roland Pleasant. He passed away 2 years ago.
And within a very short period of time, were you approached by Nevada Donor Network? Was he already in the system?
He was already in the system because a regular teenager, their dream is to go to DMV and get their permit. So when that application came about, he sat right next to me and he didn't think twice. He just said, "Mom, what am I going to do with myself? I'm going to be gone. So I want to help someone who's still on earth." So he was brave enough from that moment. So when Nevada Donor called me after he passed away, unfortunately, I had to follow his wishes because I remember that positive look in his face and, that check mark. Yes, I'm going to help someone.
It sounds like he did not hesitate.
No, he didn't. He loves to give and share.
You said that your son was able to be the donor for cornea,
tissue, and bones.
After the fact, is there any kind of follow-up?
They're great for following up. Yeah, they're great people. I thought as Roland's mom, well, these people just want something from me and they're not going to associate with me after that. But they became a healing process also. They offer counseling. They have the Reach Out program to become a volunteer. Everything that they have that concerns your family member being a donor, they want to show you the process you went through that other people went through also. And we all become a family after. No one wants to lose a loved one, but then there's that afterlife that you end up finding how your loved one gave.
And you mentioned that Roland was a donor hero, and that's so true.
Yes, he's brave.
He lives on.
He lives on. I have a phone number where I can call, and they've told me that his cornea went to 2 different human beings, and they asked, do you want to know the age? There's ways for you to know. There's ways that these families can write you back and thank you. And to me, just me knowing that his body parts are being used for someone who lives on, that's my gift as a mom. That's my thing.
That's wonderful. Everybody's seen when things on social media go viral and you start seeing YouTube clips. Most recently, a woman who's on her wedding day. I don't remember all the details, but she got to meet the recipient of a heart donation at her wedding.
Yeah.
Boy, does that give you chills.
Double gifts. Those are double gifts in life.
Alma, Nevada isn't quite up to the national standard as far as the percentage of people that are signed up to be organ donors. A little over 40%.
Right now, Nevada ranks at 41%. That is based on the adult population that is able to register as organ, tissue, and eye donation. Now, to register, it's very easy. With technology being so advanced now, they can do it using their iPhone, using the Health app. They can do it online at www.nvdonor.org. They can do it through Facebook. It's just so easy, and it takes about 2 minutes of your time.
Wow, I thought it was just at the DMV. There's a lot more ways to do this.
Not anymore. You just touch your iPhone and you're in.
It's very easy to get yourself registered as an organ donor. Also, it would be important to let your family know. Roberta, with your son Roland, you guys were together at the DMV the day that he actually expressed an interest.
His facial expression, and he was proud. It's a proud thing to give when you're alive. So when you're gone and you gave something to carry on someone's life, special.
It really is. And it's not hard to do, but it is important to let your family know, hey, I was at the DMV today, or I just heard that there's this new cool app for my iPhone, and I'm going to sign up to be an organ donor. Let your family know your wishes. That's very important.
It is very important. It eases up that process when the time comes. You don't want to put your family through the burden of having to deal with your loss, and on top of that, make such an important decision. A lot of families find themselves debating, my loved one, what would he have wanted? But as we have experience here with Roberta, she expresses her love, and the way her son was, this giving and caring person, she saw the expression and excitement in her son. That decision came without a doubt and without even thought.
The phone call at first is very alarming because your loved one hasn't been passed very long when that phone call comes from Nevada Donor. So let me say, it gives you a high rush to make that decision on the phone because time is going and you need to give that answer to them. It's a lot of questions to answer, and you just have to remember your loved one wishes and go through with the process.
And it's already the hardest time in your life to start with.
And for a couple of hours after, and they'll tell you why the phone call, what it's about and why. They're very professional because they know it's not the happiest time to answer the phone.
No, but the fact that you knew that was his wish.
You need to communicate with anyone about that decision because that's the person that can probably help all the rest of the family make that decision.
And give the gift of life to more than one person out of your donations.
Yes. Roland's tissue and bones sits there for about 5 years where it spreads to so many people. And then when I told other people Roland gave his tissue and bones, I learned that other people I know have tissue from having back surgery. It just goes a long way. You can't imagine. It's not spoken of, but it's something that's really necessary.
Roberta, you are so right. It's not until you start talking about donation of organ and tissue or receiving organ and tissue that you find out how many people really have been affected by this. In fact, Alma, when you first came in this morning, I mentioned that we've had another member of our Beasley family who in just the past year was the grateful recipient of an organ donation. It happens. It's our family, it's our friends, and it's common, and it's something that helps us help others.
It really is. Taking in consideration that there are more than 117,000 people on the national waiting list. This can be your neighbor, your friend, your dad, your mom, your child. This is real. Donation is real, and it impacts everyone.
You guys can take those organ and tissue donations. They can really help someone extend their life.
Yes, they can.
And I think in a lot of cases, too, with organ donation, it's people who don't have much time. They're near the top of the list for a reason.
It's a ticking time bomb. We currently have about 22 people that die every day. That's almost one person an hour waiting for a life-saving gift.
Just because there wasn't enough out there to help them.
Yes.
And you know, Alma, with Nevada Donor Network, with those organ donations, that to have a shared race or ethnic background gives you those markers that makes them more likely to be compatible in the person who receives the donation.
Yes, that's one of the factors. However, the priority is how long have you been waiting, how far away from the location you live, pretty much is how high on that list you are.
And you said that here in Nevada, we have over 500 people currently on the waiting list.
Yes. It's a little bit over 500 people waiting, and it's about 58% of a minority ethnic background.
Which is why the National Minority Donor Awareness Week with Nevada Donor Network is so important. It's going on now. Please don't think that when the week ends, this does not mean that your efforts to reach out to people and ask them to become organ donors stops. That's never going to stop. That's a 365 deal, isn't it? it?
It really is. We have community events. We do hospital education. We have a team for hospital education. We have out-of-hospital education. We're dealing with hospice and our coroner's office. We're working with Metro. So we have a lot of initiatives in place that are currently pushing this message of donation and trying to raise awareness, basically move that needle and put Nevada at a higher rank versus a 41 percentile when it comes to registered donors.
We need to get more people to just say yes.
Yes, make that decision, check that box, go online, register to be an organ donor, and most definitely share those wishes with your family. So when that time comes, it's not a surprise and it's not the first time that they hear the topic of donation.
We're going to make sure that we share all the information and the links and everything on our Talking Solutions Facebook page, like always, along with a podcast of our discussion today. Roberta, you are the mother of an organ donor hero.
Yes.
Roland, you've been through the process. Is there anything that you want to share with people to let them know that they should do it, or that even in a tough time, it's really worthwhile? What has changed in your world by having Roland become an organ donor hero?
What's changed in my world is just learning that giving yourself up when you pass away to help someone is just like someone being thirsty for water and they're reaching their hand out, their face is all flushed, and you just hand them water. You quench their thirst and you walk away. So it's like you did something, you didn't think nothing of it, but you're giving someone something to refresh their bodies. I just feel like Roland refreshed so many bodies and he's up in heaven proud of me. I also volunteer with Nevada Donor, so I think what that's done for me as Roland being a donor is he opened a new place in my life where I learned that giving really counts. Giving really makes a difference.
And you're now surrounded by a lot of other people who truly understand how wonderful the gifts were.
I would have never been sitting here or would have even clicked on my iPhone to say, what is this donation thing about? It's just educated me. It's blessed me. And I'm just glad that Roland and I got to share that experience as a mother and a son in DMV. Just a random trip to DMV.
And in turn, you've blessed so many others.
Yes.
Out of a very sad situation comes this triumphant extension of people's lives, the gifts that you can give and in some cases receive through Nevada Donor Network are truly life-changing. Alma, we always ask, as part of Talking Solutions, what can we do to help you?
What I would ask for the community is to really take this week to think about what their wishes are when it comes to end-of-life decisions, because this is something that we're all going to go through. This is a conversation that will take place with their family. So if everybody takes a few minutes to really think about their decision, register and share with their family, that would make a life-changing impact on the patients that are currently waiting. And you never know. Someone that's waiting may be, like I said, your relative, your dad, your mom, your son, your daughter. What would you do if it was you on the other hand? What would you want to be done?
Fact is when you do have that need, you don't have a lot of time to make those very important decisions. And you're right, all of us will have to deal with it. I know that when it comes to planning for when a life ends, we're reluctant to do so. People just don't want to think that way. I understand that. But it's so important. It's not hard, and it doesn't take but a few minutes. Let your family know what your wishes are, because in the long run, you're giving them a gift by Roland letting you know, Roberta, at the DMV that he wanted to sign up to be able to be an organ or tissue donor because you knew those were his wishes. That had to make it easier when the time came.
Some of his friends actually, once they found out, they saw I would go to events, dinners, or to sit and volunteer, and then they would just randomly inbox me and go, I didn't know Roland was a donor. Okay, I'm going to change my information on my DMV. I said, that's what it's all about. You see your peers, and he was a very influential young man to his friends, so he's gone, but his friends are still looking to see what he did, and they're following.
How's it feel to be a hero mom?
Feels good. I'm proud.
Roberta will ask you the same question with Talking Solutions. We say, how can we help you? What can we do to help you?
Just be open. Families sometimes have a hard time talking about losing each other, but this is something that when you lose one of your family members, it's a way to heal, and it's a way to go on by knowing that one of your family members helped other people's family members.
those hero donors.
Yes.
Yes, and you too can be a hero and be the hero of your story, just like the one that we shared with you today.
Alma, what's our first step?
Register. Visit nvdonor.org. Do it on your iPhone, Facebook, use your Apple ID, the Health app, or at the DMV.
All the links, information, and everything will be on our Talking Solutions Facebook page, along with a podcast of our interview. Ladies, is there anything I'm forgetting?
You've covered it all.
Really a treat to meet you, Roberta.
Thank you.
Hero mom for Roland Pleasant and Alma Rodriguez with Nevada Donor Network. It's National Minority Donor Awareness Week right now, but any day is a great day to sign up to be a donor for Nevada Donor Network, and you can make a true life-changing difference in someone else's life. Alma Rodriguez, Roberta Garcia, and Roland Pleasant. Hero, thanks for joining us today on Talking Solutions.
Thank you for having us.
Talking Solutions is a production of the Community Relations Department here at Beasley Media Group Las Vegas. Get more information on today's topic on our Talking Solutions page on Facebook, where you will also find links and a podcast of today's show. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.